Great, so we're here in Oaxaca City Centro at the Restaurante Coronita with Alejandra. Alejandra is the third generation in this family restaurant, and we're going to talk about this beautiful, authentic Mexican, Oaxacan cuisine here that they offer. Alejandra, it's so great to be with you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. So we're here in an off hour, so there's not that many people here, but often the restaurant is packed for lunch and for dinner, right?
Yes.
And it's my understanding that it's a beautiful mix of both lots of local Oaxacans who love to eat here, as well as tourists, yeah?
Also Oaxaca, it's like a family dinner every day, so it's great.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about the history behind the restaurant? You were telling me about sort of the roots with your grandma.
Yeah, so my grandma was an orphan. She became an orphan when she was 4 years old. So her family put her into a convent with the nuns. It was a convent called the Divino Pastor. And she said that the nun that resembles her mother the most was in charge of the kitchen. So she used to follow the nun around just to be close to have like a motherhood figure, no? So she learned to cook from her. So all the recipes are from the nuns del Divino Pastor. And afterwards, she got out when she was 12. When she was 14, she married my granddad. And they started to sell beer, cerveza Corona. And she realized that if she sold antojitos, like people would buy more beer. So this was her first.
What does antojitos mean?
It's like a snack platter. So it's just like snacks. So this is like the antojitos she used to serve. It's ribs, it's carnitas, it's manita de puerco, memelitas, this is blood sausage, chicharrón, and cheese. And this was to be the only dish they would sell. Like from 20 years, it was the only thing they would sell.
And so what year did the restaurant open?
1948.
Wow, so that's about, what, 76 years ago?
A long time.
Great. And then in the middle, what do we have here?
And right here we have the 7 mole tasting. You have to remember that Oaxaca is famous for its moles. And a mole is a sauce, so everyone has a different recipe. But these are the 7 main moles we have here in the valleys. And it's very special, it's a very unique experience, I would say, because it has a lot of anthropological roots. And so we have, if we start over here, we have we have daily moles and we have party moles. So the daily moles are gonna be a little bit thinner in texture. And in the daily moles we have chichilo, amarillo, and verde. Chichilo here is very special because it's the mole we eat on the Day of the Dead. It's made out of burnt tortilla. And so it represents the circle of life. Okay? And we used to eat it back then. We dried out ribs and bones to represent the bone and the flesh of the people that passed away. And we eat it right after we bury someone we love that they passed away. Some people say that the carbon, the carbon absorbs the sadness and the bile juices. So that's why we eat this one on the Day of the Dead.
Okay.
And then right here we have amarillo, which you can see is like an orange-yellow color. And this is a daily mole. It's easier to make at home, so a lot of families in Mexico make it at home. It's made out of chile guajillo, principal. And it's the only mole we dress on the table. So you're not gonna add anything else to the moles on the table, but to amarillo, you're gonna add this mixture of onions, lime, and salt. And it's gonna change the flavor completely. It's gonna be really good. And then we have mole verde. Mole verde is very special. Some people get it mixed up with pipián from Puebla, etc. But it's not the same thing. It's very different. The color in mole verde is made out of these 3 herbs, which are hierba santa, epazote, and perejil. So this is hierba santa. Sometimes it comes bigger. It's a very aromatic herb, very soft, very good. This is perejil, and this is epazote. So the color is gonna give this is what's gonna give the color in the green mole, okay? And it's a daily mole because we can't make it in advance. It oxidizes and it's really bad. So it is very delicious. It's fresh made and it's very particular in flavor. And so when we move up here, we have mancha manteles. If we translate that, it's called the one that stains the tablecloth. And it's the only mole we prefer to eat. So it has apricot, pineapple, banana. It's very fruity. It's spicy. It's everything. And then right here, we have almendrado. And this one, I think it's my favorite because you can really see history in this one. Remember in Mexico, we didn't have almonds and we didn't have olives. So in this one, you can really see the influence of the Spanish conquest because these mole main ingredients are almonds, olives. And you can really see the influence of the Spanish conquest, okay? And then this one is one of my favorites also. It's called mole coloradito. We can have it in here. We can also have it in the enchiladas right here. And Coloradito is very nice. It's very smooth. It's made out of a very special pepper called chilhuacle rojo. This is an endangered species. It's similar to chilhuacle negro, which is in mole negro, and it's got a whole chocolate recipe in this one. So it's very sweet. It's spicy. It's very good. It's really easy to try. If you're not familiar with moles and if you don't really like them that much, this one's really easy to eat because it's very nice in flavor. And then we have mole negro, and mole negro, it's also very special, and to Oaxacans it's very special. We usually serve it on parties. So when people get married, we usually serve it with white rice. And some people say that it's supposed to represent this kind of like yin-yang theory, that you take the person with all the bad and all of the good, and we can make that difference with mole negro and the white rice. And it's very particular. It's the one with the most ingredients. I think it's about 38 ingredients. It's made out of chilhuacle negro, which is an endangered species. And we have to be very careful where we source the peppers, because if we buy it from somewhere else, not in Oaxaca region, the taste changes a lot. So we have to be very careful, and it's very, very good. I think it's my favorite. All of them are my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, so this
And
is
then
the
what do we have
mole.
over here?
And right here we have antojitos Coronita. This is the first dish my grandma started to make in the restaurant back in 1948, back in the market. Right here we have blood sausage. It's called moronga. It's very nice. It's very aromatic. It's got some mint, and it's very, very good. Then right here we have chicharrón, cheese, ribs, carnita, pork carnitas. I forgot what it was. I think it was the rib. Again, no. Memelita and manita de puerco.
Okay. And then over here?
Right here is a different way to try mole coloradito. You can also have this made out of mole negro, because they are enchiladas. They're like tacos filled with cheese, showered in mole coloradito. And this is called tasajo, which is like a very thin beef, and it's a very particular beef cut from Oaxaca. And it's very good. It's very soft. It's very tender. It's very nice. I hope you like it.
Nice.
You have to try it.
Alejandra, can you tell me a little bit about the sort of Oaxacan, the pre-Hispanic ingredients, and how those were distinctly different from the influence and the ingredients that changed after the Hispanic came?
You have to think of the pre-Hispanic ingredients as ingredients based in the milpa. As you've heard, milpa is a kind of polycultivo. How do you say that? It's it's the polycultivo de la milpa. So back then, we have to remember that maize is the main cereal of our country.
Corn.
And corn, yes,
Yeah.
corn. And corn is it's also the center of the agriculture. So around corn, to protect the corn, people used to gather a lot of ingredients around it to protect it. And those would be peppers, because the capsaicin of the pepper used to protect the corn. And around the peppers, we used to have calabaza, pumpkin. And you have to remember that the pumpkin leaves are very long, and they used to protect the corn. And also the different nutrients in this milpa used to protect and to give more flavor to corn. Okay, so those are the principal ingredients in Oaxacan cuisine. So it's herbs, corn, peppers, and that would be it, if you can say it. But a lot of aromatic herbs, for example, this is really obvious, but olives, almonds, we also use sesame seeds in some of our moles. One of them has a little bit of cumin, and you have to remember these recipes vary from family to family. But I think if you have in your mind which are the principal ingredients of the pre-Hispanic diet, which are basically all of the ingredients that are in the milpa, the rest is just the Spanish conquest. And you have to remember that traditional cuisine, what we know right now as Mexican cuisine, or what we know right now as Oaxacan cuisine, is the perfect combination of both ingredients in a very harmonious way. And this is actually very poetic, because it's a lot of ingredients, it's a lot of history, and maybe it's just a dish, but it's a lot of history.
And so what are some of the ingredients that are associated with the once the Spaniards arrive?
In here, obviously, olives, almonds, sesame seeds. Those are the ones that come to mind, because chocolate is also from Oaxaca, from Mexico. So those are the principles that come to mind right now.
Great, beautiful. Thank you so
Also
much.
some of the meats.
Can you tell me a little bit about, in the dining hall here in the restaurant, there's a lot of artwork hanging on the walls. Can you tell me a little bit about the artwork and the relationship with local artists?
Of course, yeah. So Tamayo was actually was close family to my granddad's family. And he used to come here. It was his favorite restaurant.
And this is Rufino Tamayo,
Rufino Tamayo.
famous Oaxacan artist.
He gifted my grandparents that painting over there in the back. And then also...
And of course, people can visit the Rufino Tamayo Museum. Is a popular place to visit here in the city.
It's a very popular place to visit here in Mexico City. We have a lot of Rufino Tamayo museums here. And so all of the artists and most of the artists here are influenced by him. So a lot of the artists learned some techniques from him. And we also have in the back that one that's called from Abelardo Lopez, which is a landscape from Oaxaca and Mitla. I think it's close to Mitla. We also have Sergio Hernandez, who he also comes very often to eat with us and everything. And we have Rodolfo Morales, Andreachi, it's the blue one over there. Then we have Eddie Martinez, which is very nice, right on the back over there. And then we have Maximino Javier, which I think is my favorite. It's right on the other hand of the bar. So we love to be a community we love to be a place where artists can unite. And we love them. We love to have them here.
Nice. So specifically in this restaurant, there's a beautiful mix of locals who come to eat as well as tourists. Is that right?
Yes.
You serve lunch and dinner. You also serve mezcal. Is that right?
Yes, we have our house mezcal and we have different recipes of mezcal that we love. Yes.
Muy bien. So again, we're here at Restaurante Coronita, and it's a wonderful place to come and try the 7 mole platter and sort of an introduction to the famous moles of Oaxaca. Alejandra, it's so great to be here. Thank you for having us.
It's great to be with you.
Great.